I've owed you this video for years. Genuinely years. Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. If you're into that too, definitely hit subscribe and come join our skincare community. I have made countless videos over the years about skin barrier repair, talking about products, barrier serums, barrier moisturizers, ingredients to include in your barrier repair routine, and ingredients to avoid. I have talked about the method for repairing your skin barrier, but I have genuinely not done a step-by-step skincare routine that I would personally use if I damaged my skin barrier today. That is this video. And I do have something that I want to share with you personally first before we jump into the skincare routine, because it really does matter. So back in 2018, I damaged my skin barrier. 2018 is the year that I really started to show up here on YouTube talking about skincare. And while I had been into skincare for many years prior to that, I think that the pressure, that I put onto myself to create skincare content meant that I was throwing a lot of things at my face. AHAs, BHAs, I was using vitamin C, I was using retinoids, I was throwing it all at my face in order to improve my skin, but I wasn't using patience. I wasn't spacing anything out. I was throwing everything at my face all at once. And then my skin fell apart. Everything I put on my skin stung, burned, deeply irritated my skin. Products I had used for years to calm down my skin, to soothe my skin, all of a sudden stopped working. Water hurt my skin. My skin was going through that raw, nagging, desperate sensation that it wanted some relief that nothing I put onto my skin was providing. My skin was dull, deeply congested, deep inflamed pimples on my skin. Pimples in places I had never gotten pimples before. One pimple on my forehead was so bad that when it popped, it just dripped blood down. It would not stop bleeding. My skin was completely broken and it looked terrible. 2018 was not all that long ago, and yet it was a very different time. There was not a lot of education about the skin barrier. So when I was going through this mysterious ailment, all of a sudden my skin was in the worst state it had ever been in my entire life. I had no clue what was going on. I was searching in the dark. But eventually, as I stumbled through, why isn't this working? Why is my skin like this? I started to stumble onto the skin barrier. I started to stumble onto information about ceramides, about cholesterol, about fatty acids, about how these are the essential building blocks of your skin barrier, why your skin barrier helps to protect your skin, helps to hold in hydration, helps to defend against irritants, why when it is weakened or damaged, you go through things like dehydration, burning, stinging, itching, raw, nagging skin, why you get more pimples, why your skin becomes more dull, why all of the symptoms I was having were occurring on my skin. Once I figured that out, I slowly but surely started to build a skincare routine that actually helped my skin to heal. And the hardest part about healing your skin barrier is not about finding the right products. It's about changing your mindset and your relationship with your skin. When I would look in the mirror, when my skin barrier was broken and I saw the dull skin and I saw all of the congestion, the deep pimples, I hated looking in the mirror and seeing the state of my skin, and I just wanted to fix it. And I will tell you, I picked up those exfoliants. I picked up the BHA to try to address the pimples on my skin. I picked up the vitamin C to try to brighten up the dull complexion. But at a certain point, I realized every time I picked up those products, every time I fixated on how my skin looked, and I did whatever I tried to do to fix it, I set my healing progress back. I kept taking a step forward and 2 steps back every time I did that. And eventually I realized I needed to stop focusing on how my skin looked and start focusing on how my skin felt. Once I finally learned that lesson and I finally accepted it and I changed my mindset, that's when the healing began. That's when I started to make progress with my skin. That's when things started to turn around. And lo and behold, when you heal your skin barrier, all those other things that you're seeing on your skin, they do just kind of start to resolve themselves naturally, right? Because they're all symptoms. They are not the cause. And once I really fully embraced that healing was my only job with my skin, that's when the true magic started to happen. Now, let me teach you the method for healing your skin barrier, because you really need to understand the method before you apply the products. You can expand upon this as much or as little as you want, but the core method will always remain the same. Step number one, use a hydrating toner. Now, when your skin barrier is damaged, your skin is very likely also dehydrated. When the skin barrier is weak, water escapes from the deeper layers of your skin in a process called transepidermal water loss. And what it results in is that sensation in your skin deep down. It feels really, really tight, uncomfortable. It feels like dry skin, but you may have a layer of oil on top. That feeling of wanting to pile on lots of skincare throughout the day, that's the dehydrated feeling. Before you start the healing process, you kind of need to like build back and replenish what is being lost constantly through that barrier being weak, which is water. And we build that back with a hydrating toner with humectants. Step number two, rebuild your barrier with ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. Now, as I mentioned, your skin barrier is weak or damaged. It's like there's holes in that. Think about it like a wall. There's bricks missing and the water is escaping, right? But the bad stuff, the pollutants, the bacteria, the acne bacteria, yes, are all getting into the deeper layers of the skin through those holes in the skin barrier, causing inflammation, sensitivity, burning, stinging. That's what's causing it. It's a two-way wall here. And the wall itself is made up of lipids that consist of 50% of ceramides, 25% of cholesterol, and 25% of fatty acids, respectively. That's what closes up the gaps. This is what's going to jumpstart the healing. This is when it's going to get you back on track, is these ingredients. Step number three is to use an occlusive to seal everything in and protect your skin and accelerate your healing process. This is the step that most people miss when they're building a barrier repair routine. Occlusives are a class of ingredients that create a quality within skincare that actually creates something of a temporary barrier on your skin. They help to seal everything in. Examples of ingredients include dimethicone and petrolatum. Why wouldn't you put a temporary barrier right on top of your skin to slow down that water loss, to help resist the, introduction of the bad stuff that inflames our skin? Why wouldn't you put a temporary barrier on top of all those good ceramide products, all those good hydrating products that would then help them to work longer and work hopefully more effectively and faster for you to get your skin back on track so that you can return back to your fun skincare routine? Why wouldn't you do that? That is what occlusives do in a barrier repair routine. Now, let me show you how I put this method into action in a real barrier repair routine. This is built for my personal skin and also off of my 8 years of experience. So for newbies here, my skin is combination and it leans sensitive. Starting in the morning, I keep things extremely simple. I wash my face with cool water and I will occasionally use a washcloth to break through those thick layers of skincare on my face. Every time you use a cleanser to wash your face, you're actually removing some of what your barrier needs. During active healing, you're trying to disrupt your skin as little as possible. Step one of my repair method, which is to replenish and hydrate my skin with a hydrating toner. This is the Make Prem Safe Me Relief Essence Toner. The ingredients list is minimal, which matters enormously when your skin is compromised and reactive. Fewer ingredients mean fewer potential points of irritation. And I've chosen this one because it is genuinely one of the most hydrating toners I have ever used. It is one of my all-time favorites. I'm going to be applying multiple layers of this product, about 2 to 3 layers, and I'm going to be layering that on because I am using this product to replenish my parched, dehydrated skin. This is going to not only create relief in my vulnerable skin, but it's also going to soothe that raw, nagging feeling. So one layer is likely not going to do it. I'm tuning into my skin and I'm layering this on until my skin feels comfortable and hydrated. This next step is optional, but if you're experiencing active burning or stinging, it is one of the most effective things I've found. The Avene Cicalfate Intensive Skin Restorative Serum. The hero ingredient in this is 4-T-butylcyclohexanol. Most soothing ingredients calm irritation after it started. This ingredient actually intercepts the irritation signal at the nerve receptor level before you fully feel it, which is why it provides relief within minutes rather than days. The formula is also extremely minimal, and as I discussed, this is really important when your skin is compromised and reactive. A long ingredients list can be risky, but this one keeps it simple by design. So if you are dealing with serious burning and stinging right now, this will bring immediate relief. Next, Haruharu Probiotics Barrier Essence. This is one of the most sophisticated barrier repair products that I use. We have multiple ceramides in here. We have cholesterol, fatty acids, and it's in the golden ratio, 3:1:1, that closely mirrors what's in your actual skin barrier. Now, when I damaged my skin barrier in 2018, I found moisture was one of the things that actually provided a ton of relief to my burning, stinging skin. Something about the nourishing emollients going onto skin that was raw and uncomfortable was genuinely soothing. This is a bit of an extra product in the skincare routine. As I said, the 3-step method can actually be expanded upon. It doesn't have to be just 3 products alone. And this is how I'm doing it. This is not only balancing and replenishing my skin, but it is also building in some ceramide, cholesterol, fatty acid content that is going to be crucial for healing. Stratia Lipid Gold. This is the one. Stratia Lipid Gold is the product that healed my skin barrier back in 2018. The product that taught me what ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids are all about. The one I've trusted for 8 years. What I didn't know in 2018 was why it worked. I just knew that it did. 8 years later, I understand. It's built around the specific ratio that research supports for genuine barrier repair. Ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids together in proportions that mirror what your skin actually needs. This is the backbone of my barrier repair routine. It has been for 8 years, and it will be for as long as I am doing this. Now, one note, this is a hybrid product that could be used as a serum or a lotion, but if your skin barrier is damaged, you need to use this as a serum, not as a moisturizer. It does not replace the moisturizer step that comes up next. It's just doing different jobs for different situations. Let's talk about facial oil. This is optional, but I discovered my love of facial oil back in 2018. The fatty acid profile of facial oil is replenishing your skin barrier. The right oils deliver the lipids your skin barrier is depleted of in the form that your skin can immediately use. So today I'm using Marula oil. It's high in omega-9 fatty acid, but I also genuinely enjoy a blended oil like Stratia Fortify, which actually has been specifically formulated to include all the fatty acids that are very beneficial for your skin barrier. You can apply this in a thin layer under your moisturizer. You can mix a couple drops into your moisturizer, or my personal favorite, I mix a couple of drops straight into my Stratia Lipid Gold. And contrary to popular belief, facial oils are not occlusive, so you do want to put this underneath your moisturizer and occlusive steps. Next up, Cerave Moisturizing Cream. This is the one that I used in 2018, and it's really the one that I still reach for when my barrier is genuinely struggling in deep winter, when my skin is weakened by aggressive active use. It's what I use when I need something that I can completely trust. Looking at the ingredients list, you may notice that this contains petrolatum and dimethicone in the formula, occlusive ingredients that start providing protection even before the next step, and that matters for barrier healing. If you can't get your hands on Cerave or you just don't like it, one that I love from K-Beauty is the Zeroid Intensive Cream. It does an excellent job in the same role, and you can actually check out a video with more K-Beauty recommendations for barrier-specific creams. And now the occlusive layer. This is a step that most people skip, and this is the one that makes the biggest difference. So here are 2 options depending on your situation. Roche-Posay Cicaplast. This contains 1% of dimethicone plus madecassoside for additional soothing. So you can mix a small pea-sized amount directly into your CeraVe cream before applying. This is particularly good for a morning skincare routine, or you can put a layer straight on top of your moisturizer. This is great, as I said, for daytime because it's not too heavy, shiny, greasy, and the madecassoside actually adds a lot of soothing and calming alongside of the occlusion that can really bridge the gap between your morning and nighttime routine when that raw nagging sensation sets into your skin. Now at night, I like something a little bit more robust like Aquaphor. It contains 49% of petrolatum, and this is your slugging product. A thin layer right on top of your moisturizer before bed. Sleeping in this significantly slows down transepidermal water loss overnight, which is when your skin is doing most of its repair work anyways. It creates a physical seal that holds your skincare against your skin and allows everything underneath to work more more efficiently. And a quick word about sunscreen in your morning routine. This one is complicated, and I just want to be dead honest with you. When your skin is compromised or damaged, even the gentlest sunscreens can sting and burn and be incredibly uncomfortable. Now, mineral sunscreen is the default recommendation for sensitive, irritated skin. I personally find it does a lot more harm on my skin than good because zinc oxide actually makes my dehydration a lot worse. Chemical sunscreens are what I normally feel the most comfortable in and what I use, but when my skin barrier is damaged, even my favorite formulas can irritate my skin. My honest take, if sunscreen is really irritating your skin while you're healing up your skin barrier, I give you permission to skip out on it. Because honestly, you really do want to keep your barrier in a calm and not inflamed state in order to really get a robust healing response in your skin. And if you're constantly inflaming it and irritating it, you're not going to get that. Wear a hat. Wear sunglasses, avoid the sun as much as you possibly can. Take all those other sun avoidance measures, be smart about it, but know that like you can skip out for some short-term risk, right? In order for the long-term benefit of healing. And then once your skin is back on track, you can slowly reintroduce sunscreen. And now I just want to quickly talk about some things you do not want to include in your barrier repair routine. Aggressive actives, chemical exfoliants, AHA, BHA, PHA, LHAs, you don't want them. Vitamin C's, don't want them. Retinoids, tretinoin, retinol, retinaldehyde, we do not want them. Niacinamide at high percentages, and I classify this as about 10% and up. Avoid it. You want to also look for skincare products that do not contain denatured alcohol and that do not contain fragrances. Fragrances will include artificial fragrance, but also natural fragrances like essential oils. As mentioned earlier, limit your exposure to cleansing products. Even the gentlest, milkiest cleansers can take away some of what our skin needs in order to heal. So you want to limit that cleansing process to once a day if possible. At the end of your night, use your gentle cleansing product. In the morning, really try to embrace just washing with water. If you still feel like there's residue on your skin, you can gently use a washcloth to run that over your skin, and that should break up any residue, but rinse really well with water. That's really all you need. And while we're on the subject of water, do not use really hot water. When you're washing your face, like cool water or room temperature, slightly warm water is okay. Hot water actually strips your skin barrier. So when you're in the shower, I know this sucks, like turn the temperature a little bit cooler to preserve your skin. Avoid the water on your face. And what you can actually do, this is a tip for you, put a little thin layer of Vaseline on your face and then get in the shower. It creates the protective barrier, the occlusion that will protect your skin from the harsh water. And then, at the end, you can turn the temperature down just a little bit and wash that off of your face. And healing is a journey, and it's going to look different for everybody. Some folks bounce back in about 2 weeks. Some people need closer to 4 to 6 weeks in order to heal. And I'll tell you, back in 2018, it took me a couple months because I was doing all the wrong things before I figured out everything that I just shared with you today. So if you are on that journey right now and you want a few more resources, I have them for you in the pinned comment. A couple of other videos that I've recently done with product recommendations and education around the skin barrier that should help you out on that healing journey. So check it out in the comments below. In the comments, you'll also find links to all the products I talked about in today's video, including links for the United States as well as international links. And while you're in the comments, let me know, are you on this journey of repairing your skin barrier right now? Tell me all about it in the comments below. And if you've gone through this journey before and you want to add some additional advice or some of your experience into the comments, please also do that, because it is a community here and we are all here to help each other out. Because the one thing I can tell you about healing my barrier, more than once, by the way, I've been on this journey more than once, right? I know how emotional it is. I know how frustrating it can be. But one thing I also know, having done this multiple times, you will get through it. Your skin wants to heal. It will get better. I just want to encourage you to keep shining your bright, beautiful, individual inner glow. You know, that glow that's inside, that radiates from the inside out. Don't keep that inside. Don't hide that. We need that beautiful, individual, unique glow that only you bring to this world. Shine it out. We need you. I love you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.